Hey there guys, I'm Nick here on Shadow Vaporeon on 5 days until Nintendo Switch. I'm very excited guys because this is the end point of this whole journey, 5 days left. Technically this Thursday it will be at midnight. If you go to like a GameStop, they'll be doing the midnight launch and that's when you'll get your Switch. And I'm just so excited, man. So today on our 5 days left on the journey, we will be talking about SD cards, of course the memory device you'll be using on your Switch. So I'm going to talk to you about kind of like what kind of SD cards you can get. You probably already know, but we're going to talk about them anyways, just for an overview of them. I mean, the Switch itself comes with 32 gigabytes, which may not seem much if you're like an Xbox or a PlayStation person going, whoa, that's stupid because you get, I spit for, what the heck, and you may be thinking, oh, that's stupid because, oh, the PlayStation and Xbox, the lowest model is kind of 500 gigabytes. But the way Nintendo's products kind of work, I mean, we already know they're not as graphically capable as other devices. But even then, even the prettier games just overall don't take too much space on the system. I mean, Breath of the Wild takes 14, rounded up. And then there's one game, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, that takes 32, which is more than what the system gives you. And first, well, I mean, it comes with 32, but the system uses about 7, so you're left with less than 32. So if you want that game, you are going to have an SD card if you're planning to get it not physical and digitally. I get most of my games digitally, so I get most of my games physically, not digitally. I'm just gonna keep on making mistakes in speed, aren't I? Yay! But I get most of my games physically, so I'm actually not getting an SD card at launch. But for the people who do like to get things digitally, I am going to like tell you about the SD cards you probably going to want to get for the system if maybe you're looking on this as a Nintendo foreigner and you're probably going, which SD card should I get? I mean, in the future they will have support for 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte SD cards. Those aren't invented yet, so you can't get one of those. The max you probably going to get is a 256 gigabyte. But even then, I wouldn't recommend that. First of all, because after you get past 100 gigabytes, the prices just skyrocket for SD cards. Like a 32 is pretty cheap, a 64 is pretty cheap, 100 in the 100 area is more expensive, but it's still in the possibility range. And just when you get to like past that, just everything just goes up by like $50 per like extra gigabytes. Like what? That's an exaggeration, but I'm just saying, it's just, Jesus, a 256 is going to cost you a hefty amount of money. But if you really just want to get started with the Switch, or at least hold a lot of good games on it, the average size is actually about, I would say, 2 to 6 gigabytes, to be quite honest, for a game. If it's a bigger game like Breath of the Wild, like the Nintendo first-party games tend to be more, take more gigabytes, like Mario Kart, I believe, takes like 7. But if I would recommend, I mean, I would say a 32 or 64. I would say actually go with a 64 gigabyte just to be safe. I mean, they're pretty affordable. I mean, I'm like, if you're getting a whole bunch of accessories, you're probably going to be going, oh, come on, man. But, I mean, I am too, and that's personally why I'm not getting a SD card at launch either. Like, if you like physical games, or if you can at least handle having like 3 physical games and having everything else be digital, then you should be fine. I mean, you can get an SD card maybe a week later or a month later, depends how much you really want digital games that bad. And even then, if you probably got all the launch titles, at least the ones you want digitally, you probably still have room on your Switch. So you can hold off on an SD card, but if you are planning to get one, I would recommend a 64. It's big enough size, and it's cheaper. 32 gigabyte also is nice, but 64 I would be like my recommended right there. And if you really want to splurge to make sure you never run out of space, you can go to the 100 and 200 area gigabyte storage. But like I said, 64 is a good starting point, and it'll last you for a good long while. And if you don't really get games, if you don't get games digitally that much, I mean, 64 is also really good. I mean, you won't have to worry about anything. You could even get a 32 if you're more of a physical card gamer. I mean, and that's just basically the gist of it. And like, again, I want to make this video shorter. I said they'd be 5 minutes, and we have other videos that are like 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to make it short, like just quick segments getting you, like telling you what I recommend. So yeah, 64 gigabyte would be my recommended SD card. They're not too expensive. And you can probably find them at a Walgreens, Walmart, definitely you can find them. I mean, just basic places where you can find SD cards, you should be fine. If you go to Best Buy, pick up your Switch, they'll have them there too. Don't think GameStop has them, but they're a GameStop, not an SD card place. But anyway, so yeah, that's my recommendation. 64 gigabytes. You can just watch the two last seconds of the video and just go 64 gigabytes, and that's all you really need to know. But I was just giving some reason to it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys on 4 days till Nintendo Switch. Just saying 4 days, that gets me so hyped up. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys later.